It seems like this is the weirdest verb in English, and I'll tell you why. With the vast majority of verbs, you're either doing something, I wake up, I smile, I laugh, or you're doing something to something, I put on my sweater, for example. You may have heard these called intransitive and transitive verbs, respectively. Now, right off the bat, though, there are a few very common verbs that don't quite fit this criteria. For a word like give, for example, you usually need two things after the verb. You give something to someone. Or with a word like put, you have to put something on something or in something. It sounds weird to just say, I put the chair, right? So we could call these verbs ditransitive, because usually two things go after them, not just one. All right, so far so good, right? But it seems like we're missing something. Because what is it? Is it the situation at hand? The situation seems like it's missing something? That kind of sounds right? Well, if I said that you seem tired, what are you actually doing? If you were just by yourself tired, you wouldn't really say that you seem tired, right? Like if you seem tired, someone else is perceiving you as tired. So you're seeming tired to them, but again, you're not really doing anything, right? If they think you're tired, that's their business. Maybe you just have eye bags or something. But if we ignore all of that, it looks like you seem tired to me and you give an apple to me work basically the same way, right? But here's the problem. With the first one, you could just rephrase it as, it seems like you're tired to me. But the second one, how do you do that? Clearly, something's going on here, but if we really want to understand what that is, we're going to have to dive headfirst into a branch of linguistics called syntax. That's the noise I make whenever anyone mentions syntax. Syntax is the study of how words come together to form sentences that make sense, so hopefully it should be able to help us here. Our first question is, what is it doing here? And this one we can actually get out of the way pretty quickly. This it is the same it as it is raining, and spoiler alert, it doesn't actually refer to anything. This is called a dummy pronoun, or an expletive subject, and it's really only there because English doesn't like when a verb doesn't have a grammatical subject before it. Theoretically, you could just say is raining, but most English speakers put an it there so the is has something to keep it company. And that's the same reason we say, it seems like you're tired. Though seems like you're tired is also perfectly acceptable, especially informally, because of a different phenomenon called left edge deletion, which is outside of the scope of this video. Anyway, as for why seem and give work differently, well, there's actually a few different ways to answer this problem, so I'll give you one of them. A few different theories of syntax work with an idea called theta roles, which is basically, imagine every verb is the director of a play, and it assigns different roles to the different words of a sentence as part of its performance. The word give, for example, assigns an agent, the giver, a patient, the gift, and a goal, where the gift is going. The word seem, on the other hand, is a very avant-garde sort of play that doesn't assign any roles at all. It's what we call a raising verb, because it can actually raise a word out of a totally different clause and make it a subject. Here are some verbs that work the same way.